This week, we're gonna be adding the pretty stuff. I've been fighting these cords for the past hour. Yes! I did not expect to feel this way. Welcome back to the channel. Last week we organized this office space, and if you have not seen that video, you should go watch it, and then that way you're all caught up for this week, because this week we're going to be adding the pretty stuff. So we're not really doing any big designs, we're not really doing any big builds in here. We're just going to do some final styling, some touches, painting bookshelves, and some caulking. And so if you're excited to see how those simple little things will bring together this space, join me for this little mini makeover. Let's go get started. So you should know that Rambo has very much been enjoying his new spot ever since we cleaned up the office. Oh my goodness, that's my sweet boy. So when we left off after our little organization video, we left off with having nice open space, organized shelves, and we can actually function in here now. One of us can be sitting and reading while the other one is working, and we have a nice clean space to work. We found a solution for our Wi-Fi, and so while it is not super pretty, it is organizational and functional. Things that we really need to tackle is these bookshelves. So while the wood is nice because we have a solid wood bookshelf, it does look a bit cluttered and dark because of the color of the bookshelf. So I think if we gave it a fresh coat of like a very neutral paint color, that all of the books would just pop off of it, the art would pop, and it wouldn't be so dark. I also would love to finish caulking the trim where the popcorn ceiling used to meet the molding, just to give it a cleaner look. So I would want to caulk this entire room. I also would love to maybe experiment and paint the jamb of this window black to match the metal window itself and just add a little bit more depth to it. We previously got this desk and the chair off of Facebook Marketplace, and I painted the whole desk black and left the rattan. But after seeing it in this space, it's just a little too orange, and so I kind of want to try to stain this a darker, warmer wood color and see if it would go with our space a little better. We also thrifted this recliner and cleaned it up and polished it up with some leather cleaner and conditioner, and we love it in this space because it looks like a chair, but it actually reclines, and so it's the perfect fit for this space. And so we want to be able to work with what we have here. And so I think if we stained that rattan a darker like walnut tone and then painted the bookshelves more of like a creamy tan color, I think that this space would really come together, and that the blacks and the deep rich tones would kind of work with it without us having to do a whole build in here. I also would love to take down that really cheap calendar and this too tiny artwork from our wedding and really kind of create something that makes sense in here as far as artwork goes. Maybe simplifying and doing it here, or I'm not sure yet, but I definitely want to address artwork because that's a very easy change to make that can easily move with this office once we move the office. And I also would love to address this window. It's always been really hard for me to kind of like envision a curtain because it's all the way pushed to this corner. But now that we have this chair there, I'm thinking that we could just really create some softness in that corner, maybe extend the rod out a little farther than norm, and so that way we could have curtain hanging here and then one hanging over there as well. Kind of like trick the eye a little bit into thinking that window's a little larger than what it is. And then I also would love to find a lamp or fix this lamp to where it does not look like that. And so just fixing the accessories and just cleaning this space up, polishing it up even more. Oh my goodness, and I don't know how I could forget about cord management. Like, that needs to be the number one thing that we address, because that is horrendous. And when you come over here, like, it's kind of a tripping hazard. And then there's even more cords back in there. So cord management would be absolutely huge in this space. So that's definitely something we want to tackle too. So I think my list is long enough. So it's just time to get started. I already hunted down the paint. I'm going to reuse the same paint that we used in our powder room. So if you don't watch that makeover, that one was a fun one. It was actually the very first video on my channel, and so I'm really proud of it. But that makeover actually turned out really well. So you should go watch that one too when you finish this. And that's what I'm going to do these bookcases in. What I don't have and what I kind of need to go to the store and get is paint roller like replacements, like the part that goes onto the roller. But since I need to go ahead and get that, I'm kind of thinking I may go ahead and get like a smaller like cabinet roller and try that out for these bookcases. So I'm gonna get that. And then I also really want to look and see if we can find an affordable curtain option for the corner, and then see what they have in terms of cord management. I don't know how lucky we're gonna get, but that's what we're gonna look for. So let's go and see what Walmart has. That was a really successful run. Let me show you what I got. The only thing that I couldn't find was cord management of any kind. So I guess I'm gonna have to look on Amazon or something for that. But I did get these switch plate covers because the ones that we currently have are like the really old ivory ones, and they've yellowed even more since then. So we're gonna take it from like the 70s into the future. I did get like this little kit for cabinets and things, and so it even comes with like the little tray, so I thought that would be perfect. I got a drop cloth. I actually got really lucky and found this really pretty like 2-panel textured one. It's like a beigey color, and it has like really good texture to it. And I know that it's just cheap, but this is kind of a temporary thing anyway, and then that way I don't feel too bad about it if I need to move them or if I want to upgrade them or switch them out later. But I think that those will work really well. And then I just got like a basic black rod. So I think that that will help that corner just be softer. And then once we add art on the wall, like, I think it would really come together. Okay, I'm home from the store. So like I showed you, I got this little 4-piece set for cabinets and doors, and I think that's gonna leave the best finish on these bookshelves. I thought that was good. This plastic drop cloth, I'm gonna try to use that just so that way I can kind of paint quicker without being quite as careful. I've got my paint. It is called Roman Plaster. I think it's gonna give this like a really nice like tan color that's just going to add some warmth, but at the same time brighten up these bookshelves. So I'm excited about this, and we already had it. I think the first thing I want to do is just take everything off one bookshelf at a time and just see if I can kind of like put it over. And then that way I can pull out the bookcases. They're pretty light, believe it or not. Hey, I realized I haven't checked in today. So I've been continuing to work on painting the bookshelves, and I actually pulled that one out and started it also. It's just taking so long. There's so many like shelves and crevices and not fun. But I think I am about done with this one. And then that guy over there, I still need to do. I want to immediately caulk this corner back here where the shelf goes, so that way I can put the shelf back into place, and then I'll do the rest of it after I finish the shelves. But I really want to get the shelves back into place because this room is too small to have them out in the open, and then that way I can move all the stuff back in front of it and kind of get some order back to this room. As much as I am excited about having a office space to work, for whatever reason, working in this office, this project has just been so tedious to me, every single piece of it. And I think it's because it is temporary. I can't put like all of my effort into it. And so it's just felt very tedious to work on. But I am excited to see how it's going to turn out. The bookcases are painted, and so are all the shelves. I got this one back into place, and I have these shelves for that one all painted. I'm just waiting for them to dry a little further. When I tell you we were this close to running out of paint, like this close to running out of paint, and that would have been terrible because the whole purpose of using this paint was to use what we already had, and then to get rid of this can. So if I had to go buy another one to finish this project, it just would have been not good. So luckily that did not happen, and we were able to finish painting all of the shelving. I'm trying to decide like what kind of stopping point I'm going to get to, because it feels like 6 o'clock at night and it's only 4, but it's so dark right now for whatever reason. So, oh good, I got lunch on my shirt. That's great. Okay, yeah, I think I'm just putting off doing more work. So I'm going to go wash out these brushes, which is a new habit of mine. I never do that. So I'm going to try to wash those out and then maybe make a game plan for dinner and put the other shelf back. That sounds like a good plan. Let's do that. I think we're gonna call it a night. Your girl is tired. These bookshelves took it out of me, but they're done. And I'm very happy with how they look. And I know it's hard to tell in video, but like in person, this room feels so much bigger now without these big dark bookshelves. But also when they were the other color, the bookshelves looked smaller. So it's very strange. So like these just look better, and I'm excited to style them. But first, we've just got to finish up some of the other details, and that sounds like a tomorrow me problem. So I will see you tomorrow. Hey, new day, same sweatshirt. I got all of this stuff that was sitting here up on the bookcases because today I need to caulk. And I also need to paint the window jamb. So I moved all this stuff out of the way so that way I can pull the chair out and actually get to it. And black windows have been something that I have been fighting because I know it's trendy. And I know in just a few years, everyone's gonna be painting their windows white again. But for us, it makes a lot of sense because we actually already have black metal windows. So like all of our windows are already black metal. And so painting this trim out is actually just going to clean it up and like really make this window like more significant. Because our windows are already black, it doesn't really feel like I'm changing all that much. So I'm going to let myself in on this little trend, but I did just want to address that because I am pretty outspoken about not following trends just for the sake of following trends. In this case, I've thought about this for literally over a year now, and this is the first one that I'm doing. And if I like it, I will probably do it throughout the rest of the house. Don't follow trends, just follow them. Do what you like and what you would like, regardless of if it's like completely out of style. If you would still like it, then that's a good sign that it's a good move for you to do in your house. So I got the first coat of black paint on, and I don't know if you could see, but like as I was painting, this window just got like deeper and deeper. So I'm really happy with how this is going to turn out, but it is probably going to take quite a few coats. I've used this paint before. This is like spare black paint I have, and it always kind of does this where because it has a sheen, it takes a few coats. So this is going to definitely take at least 2, probably 3 before I get the deep saturated black that I'm wanting, but I'm really happy with how that's turning out. And like, can you just imagine like a black curtain rod and like the curtains on it? So while that first coat's drying, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the caulking. Finally finished all of the caulking, got the window painted, and so I'm going to try to clean up that stuff and kind of get the room back in order before I move on to the next set of things. Today is the day we are finally going to finish this office. I just have to do a few last minute touch-ups and then clean things up, and then we are ready to style and add the finishing touches. Okay, it is finally time for me to attempt to tackle this mess of cords. I looked when I went shopping to see if I could find any kind of cord management. I couldn't. Obviously Amazon has some, but what I found I wasn't a huge fan of. A lot of it looked really commercial, like what you would see like in a big corporate office. So I'm gonna try my luck with zip ties and command strips and see if we can get some of this up off the floor. My hope is to maybe put these command strips up under the desk, and then I'm gonna move the computer up under the desk right here so that way it's not sticking out. and hopefully just kind of streamline it. It's not going to be perfect. They're not going to be hidden by any means, but it will definitely be better. Okay, I want to show you the cavity I'm talking about. So under the desk here, you can see that this is the drawer to the front of the desk. But back here, there's like a cavity that goes all the way up, and it's completely hidden. So I think this is where I'm going to do the command strips and command strip all these like battery packs and the surge protector up in this one. So I think that way all the big bulky stuff will be off the floor, and then we can just kind of corral as many wires as possible with zip ties just to make it look cleaner. But I think that's our best bet. So that's what I'm going to be doing with these. I've been fighting these cords for the past hour at least, and I think I finally got the desk ones pretty wrangled. I know that it doesn't look the best, but I feel like that's still a really big improvement over what it was before. So I have the cables running along here, and then I also have the packs all command stripped to underneath the desk. So they're kind of all just hidden right under here. So I think that's going to have to do it for now. I still really need to tackle the Wi-Fi, but I think I'm on the right track. And honestly, this hurt my brain so bad. I need a brain break and some lunch, and then I will finish the Wi-Fi cords, and then hopefully we can finally get to something pretty. I did it, and everything works. The internet, the computers, everything works. Let me show you how much better this looks. So everything is up off the floor. It kind of just runs up. So this isn't perfect and it's not ideal, but for now this works. And then everything else is tucked up under here. Can you see that? So I've got like all the power boxes all command stripped up here along with excess cords. So it's just a little bit more streamlined. And then our Wi-Fi situation is much better, and we only have one strand of wires going from the computer behind the bookcase and to a wall. So much better, much more manageable. We will get like a floor cover for this, and that'll go away, and then this is hidden pretty much behind whatever we put there. So much better, and that kind of takes care of that situation. Next is something that I'm excited to do because I know it's going to make a big difference, but I'm also terrified to do, and that is to hang the curtains. I am here all by myself today, and I've never hung curtains before, and using the drill kind of scares me, especially, like, I've used it on projects, but never into the wall. So this will be fun. That's pretty dang good. Also, just figured out that my level is magnetic. Like, that would have been easier. Oh well. Okay, unfortunately, it's starting to get really dark in here really early. It's been raining all day, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this lamp. So you may recognize this lamp if you watch my thrifting videos. I found this one recently for $6. And then I thrifted this lampshade a long time ago for $3. I have not tested this lamp yet. It is still all taped up. So we're about to see if this lamp works or not. So cross your fingers. All right, moment of truth. Yes! I really didn't know if this one was gonna work because the underside is kind of hollowed out, and then they have this wrapped so tightly around here, but it works. Let's clean it up. we're gonna have to pre-drill a hole. I just tried to drill into the wall and it's just like flying everywhere because it's like bouncing off the wall. So I'm gonna go get the drill bits and we're gonna try to pre-drill a hole and see if that helps. What is happening? That was so incredibly frustrating. But I have it hung and look, that's pretty dang level. That's good enough for me. To see how frustrating this was. Look at all the times that my drill just like scooched around. So I'm kind of hoping that the curtain will cover that, but oh my gosh. This was just so frustrating. It should have just been so easy and it wasn't. Okay, I got the first curtain up and I did a faux pleat and I wanted to give it a little bit of extra, I don't know, design and kind of make it look a little bit higher quality because it's a very cheap curtain. And so I used like these little rings to give it some extra length because the next size up of curtain is way too long for me and I would have to tailor it. So instead, in order to be able to hang it higher, I used these large rings and then I just clipped it in a way that created a faux pleat. Now I've got this right here, which is just where it was folded in the packaging, and so it's kind of throwing it off. But with a little bit of steaming, it'll be perfect. So hopefully you can kind of see how that's working, and I'm going to show you the easiest way to do it. And pro tip, always put one ring on the outside of your hook. That way when you're trying to close it, it doesn't like slide all over the place. It kind of keeps it more in place of where you wanted it. I found it easiest to start by just clipping one clip on each end completely flat, and then go ahead and loop it onto your rod and put the other rings in the middle, and then that way you can kind of work with it already on the rod, and that really helps with your spacing. I found that for these 40-inch wide panels, I used 7 rings, so 1 on each end and then 5 dispersed throughout the middle, and that seems to be a really good number to me. Like I feel like any more and it would look really cluttered with rings, and any less it wouldn't hold up, so I feel like that's a good number. And there we've got our faux pleated curtains. Now, these are super cheap curtains. I'll make sure to link them below because they look great for being as cheap as they are. I mean, this set of 2 was under $15. The rod was only $10, and that came with the hardware. And then these rings, I don't remember how much they were. I've had them in my stash for a while, but I'll be sure to link them for you too. I'm sure they were inexpensive because I remember getting them off of Amazon, so I'm sure they were cheap. But I'll link everything for you so that way if you need some really cheap curtains, I got you covered. It's a new day. Yesterday we did the paint touch-ups, the cable management, and hanging the curtains, and somehow that took all day. Today we are going to be finishing up by styling the bookcases and hanging the art. And so I'm hoping that we can actually do this today. I started by taking everything off the bookcases, and I know I styled them when we organized things, but that was more just to get stuff up off the floor. Now that we've kind of put together a really nice space, I think I'm gonna go through it again and only have stuff that I really like use all the time or for styling, to where these look a lot nicer and a lot less cluttered. And then I think I would like to try to do some kind of gallery wall. But I think I'm gonna wait until I see how cluttered these shelves look, because if there's a lot of stuff here, then having a gallery wall there may be like a little bit much. So this shelf is pretty much already done because it has all the Wi-Fi stuff that I did yesterday. And then I just paired it with the trash can basket, so that way it's all like out of the way. I moved our file basket over to this corner just because it's a little awkward. Again, we're working with what we have. So we have like this piece of furniture and that. So I moved it out of the way when you first like look in the room. So we'll do something else there and obviously clean this up. But we're working with blank shelves except for that, and blank shelf. Okay, since I moved the file box over there, we need to address this area. Now, this is something that you see when you walk in, whereas over there is kind of hidden by your view of the desk. So I really want this to be really pretty, and also to kind of hide this cord situation. Okay, so I'm playing with the idea of this as a gallery wall. Obviously, I'll put pictures in those three, but the sconces will be pushed over just a bit. So this is kind of the gallery wall situation. What I can't figure out is if it's too top heavy and if there is enough of a difference, because there's a lot of squares and then one oval. But I feel like those two kind of balance each other out. I don't know. I'm also not sure if this is going to be too much with my very eclectic bookcases. I may just start by hanging the center one and then kind of play with the others, possibly, if I feel like it needs it. I cannot even tell you how many times I just smashed my thumb putting that wall up, but it was worth it. It looks so good. We just need to fill in the last few frames. So I just printed out some photos on paper. I'm just gonna cut these out, fill in the gallery wall, and we will be done. I did not expect to feel this way, but I've just been working on this office so much, and I didn't think that it was actually going to turn out good, and it's better than I imagined. It went from being a temporary throwaway kind of project to being one of my favorite rooms in the house. I cannot wait to work here, to edit this video so that way you can see this. I'm just amazed, and I hope that you are too when you see this. Not by being amazed by what I did, but by showing you the power of when you really use what you have to the best of your ability, you can create magic. So I can't believe that we did it. We created the office of my dreams out of everything I already had. I mean, I'm blown away. The only things that we purchased in order to do this makeover was a new curtain and a new curtain rod and a paint roller in order to use paint that we already had to do this space. Everything else, from the styling to the furniture to the paint, I already had. I just cannot believe it turned out this good. This space used to be a storage room. I mean, it was just filled to the brim. You could not even walk in here. This project has taken what used to be a literal trash room and turned it into the office library of my dreams, where I get to show off all of my favorite thrifted goods and get to edit these videos and work on the channel for you. I'm so excited to go and sit down and edit this video and all the ones to come in this space. it is still going to be a temporary office space, but at least now we get to really enjoy it for the time that it is up here. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it inspired you to take a look at a space in your home. Take a look at the furniture you already have. Even if it's just a cheap flat pack piece of furniture, take a look at what you have and see what you can do. It takes a lot of elbow grease, maybe a couple smashed thumbs, but you will get there and you'll be so happy that you put that effort into that space, because the difference that this has made, just being able to come up the stairs and keep this door open, being able to have a place where I can come work, I mean, it's incredible. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe so that way you do not miss out on future videos from me, and I will see you next time. Bye.